Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning briefing here with Friedman Adventures. Another gorgeous weekend in Southern California. I know it's overcast. There's even a little bit of a breeze here this morning, but it's still a blessing to be here on this gorgeous beach, and I hope you're out there catching some fish really, really soon. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee. Excuse me, 1 minute. Delicious. And get ready for the morning briefing. We've got so much to cover with you here this morning. We'll go across the border. We'll talk about our bite yesterday on the Malihini. We'll talk about the San Diego bite. We'll talk about guys right here catching Dorado. My friend Joe with a Dorado 2 miles off the beach on the new Seaforth yesterday. So much to cover with you. Let's get into it right now. First, a sad note. My friend Greg Silks called me. Greg is a spectacular guide. He also has Silks Baits. He called me on the way home from San Diego to tell me that a guy who talked about me a lot to Greg was a big fan. Sal Lindia passed away yesterday. I believe he passed away. So condolences, all our thoughts and prayers go out to Sal's family and friends. I'm so sorry to hear that, Greg. So sorry to hear that for all of Sal's friends. So we'll keep you in our prayers. All right, let's jump across the border. Let's go there, first of all, and talk about the situation with regard to safety. Seems like it's really, really common. I get some of that from my dear friends, Albert and Crystal Ponce. They're chilling in Rosarito Beach. And next week, they're headed to the Bay of LA, Bahia de Los Angeles, for some spectacular fishing. Albert and Crystal said, no issues, no problem at all down here. So for those of you who are thinking about crossing the border, it seems like a good time for you to do it. Sounds like everything's calmed down with regard to some of those fires that were set by a cartel down there in Tijuana and surrounding areas. I think everything is calm right now. This has been going on for a long time. Guys who travel to Baja a lot like myself would have crossed quite some time ago, but I understand your apprehension. I understand why you're concerned about it if you're a new Baja traveler. So just to let you know, they're down there having a good time. Seems like things are good. And my friend Arnie Man down there, who runs a pong out of Ensenada, and many of the pongeros down there are hammering the kelps for a good Dorado, good yellowtail. We're seeing a lot of marlin down there at Todos Santos Island. There's quite a bit of yellowtail also, as those yellows that are on the kelps are going to flood in and take up residence at many of the islands. Todos Santos, the Coronado Islands, San Clemente Island, all those places should get a nice influx of yellowtail moving in. All right, let's talk about our trip on the Malihini. It was not anything wide open. We never, ever found a kelp that was loaded. Never. We scratched all day long, ended up with 13 Dorado and 3 yellowtail, I think it was. 1 nice yellow for Lewis, who did a spectacular job on that fish. I've got to tell you, though, the atmosphere on these Friedman Adventures trips, and it's not me so much, it's the people on the trips. Man, it was great. Maggie McDaniels was in the galley creating all kinds of culinary masterpieces, but she's also really good out on deck, and she just happens to be a lovely person. And of course, Bill Wilkerson, the captain, and the crew of the Malihini, all those guys. I'm not even going to start naming them because they're voluminous, and I don't want to leave somebody out, but great people. And then, of course, you got John Moore, who every single trip now brings this bluefin tuna concoction, this salad, this masterpiece that he makes up in the kitchen, and everybody on board agrees how great it is, how delicious it is. You've got that going on, and so much more. I mean, just great people. Travis, and don't get me mentioning people. Dennis, stop right there. One thing I want to mention about me on the Malihini is, and I'm not trying to be braggadocious here, I never ever stop working. You guys who know me know that very, very well. I'm always in motion, always running around, shooting video or, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. There are these clandestine photos that Dale and his wife and some others shot yesterday, blowing my cover as I was trying to catch a couple of winks. All right. Well, at least I know what I'm going to look like when I plots. That's pretty bad. All right. Anyway, back to the fishing. Other guys had some pretty good fishing. There were hits and misses. Isaac Parcell and his family were out fishing, and I'll tell you what, Ethan, once again with his mom and a gorgeous Dorado, he had the same kind of fishing we had. They never found a kelp that really produced. I think he was on the Voyager, not positive about that, but I believe he was on the Voyager down there out of San Diego. So there were boats that did not find fish, overnight boats that had very difficult times, just a few Dorado and a few tuna and yellowtail, and then there were other guys that did pretty well. We did roll up and see foamer after foamer after foamer of bluefin tuna that didn't want to bite. I was live streaming yesterday, trying to get it down, trying to see how the technology is, seeing if that works for you. Go back and watch some of the live streams and make a comment. Hey, I don't like this, the picture wasn't good, the audio not good. I can go back and get that myself, but I want to get it from your perspective also. But we did see a lot of foamers of fish, no question about that. Grande yesterday, 34 guys, limits of Dorado, big hit for them. 4 yellowfin, 10 yellowtail, 2 bluefin tuna. The Vendetta, I talked to a deckhand on the boat named Jared, and he said they were 4 shy of limits. I assumed it was Dorado, so I should have checked on that a little bit more, but whatever. The Vendetta had a great day. I don't know if they're at the Coronado Islands, so maybe we're 4 shy on the yellowtail, or I'm assuming, and I'm really sure that it was Dorado. They were out offshore doing their thing also. So they had a nice day, no question about that. Several other boats, the Mustang, just shy of limits with 56 Dorado and 4 yellowtail. But again, there were misses and there was some mediocre fishing like we experienced on the Malihini. There is no shortage of fish, however, as we start to look at the offshore situation, because boats here out of the LA Orange County area had some really good fishing. Paul Fanning was on board the Some Fun yesterday with his family. Paul had a great day with 22 Dorado. That's some good shooting on the local scene, no question about that. And we mentioned Joe on the New Seaforth. He had a Dorado a couple of miles off the beach. The Enterprise had Dorado yesterday out of Seaforth, or out of Pierpoint Landing in Long Beach. Native Sun, great day, 18 guys, 38 Dorado, and that was with novice anglers, so also referred to as rent rodders. Anytime you can take some novice anglers and make a catch like that tells you something about the crew. So I got to take my hat off to the guys on the Native Sun for making that happen. That is excellent. And the Pursuit out of 22nd Street with a huge day, 87 Dorado. What a hit that was. Nice going indeed. Some cases you're going to have to drop the mono down, not on a day like the Pursuit had yesterday, but even on our trips, 20 pound, and drop your hook down to a number 2 size hook. That will make all the difference in the world. If you want some tackle tips and more, also, when I was down in San Diego, I did an interview on the morning briefing with Sean Hardigan. He runs the Mission Bell. You should listen to it. Sean paints the picture of what is going on down there on the kelps, as well as talks about ways that you can catch more fish. So still kind of hit and miss, but there is some exceptional stuff going on. And I mentioned probably a month ago that there would be a half-day boat Dorado. I got that one right. Maybe my albacore prediction's going up in flames, but at least you could see the handwriting on the walls. That warm water continues to push up. There's been several hurricanes down there, those chubascos pushing up warm water up the Baja Coast and into Southern California, and we're getting those warm water opportunities. Will there be a wahoo this year caught within 100 miles of San Diego? Absolutely. There will be. Take that one to the bank, just like my albacore prediction. So really some phenomenal stuff going on, and once again, a phenomenal time on board the Malihini. Incidentally, you saw my coffee cup, the USA coffee cup. Spent some time with my friend Rob Schroeder down there in San Diego. I taught with him in China. He is now an officer in the United States Navy. He took us for a tour of the second largest Navy base in the world. And man, I got to meet some of the men and women of our armed forces of the Navy specifically, and see the firepower that we have there in San Diego, and makes you really proud of these young men and women, and also of the arsenal that I got to see. It was really spectacular. Made you proud to be a member of this great USA. Really good. I digress for a moment. All right, let me get you into the islands right now and talk. Oh, I did skip over San Clemente Island. bluefin tuna. Spectacular fishing for many. In fact, the Ranger 85 and Scott Buchert, they got in on some really good fishing there on the bluefin tuna. Long range boats are up there, and they are putting the wood to those things all at night. I shouldn't say all, there's a few fish in the daytime, but for the most part, that bluefin tuna is a spectator sport in the day, as it was for us coming back on the Malihini and seeing spot after spot after spot. But at night, those 250-gram knife jigs are working really, really well. Sometimes you're going to need a heavier one if you get wind and current. It's going to be different from time to time. You do not want to fish these bluefin, which are 60 to 200 plus pounds, with anything less than a 200-pound leader, and I would probably go up from there. There is some really good nighttime fishing, especially if you have a couple nights, because you might hit a night where it's not that great, and then if you give it a few nights, you're on a multi-day trip, you really have a chance to make it happen. Some really, really excellent fishing going on. Down there in the island situation, we are looking at some good yellowtail fishing at Todos Santos, spectacular yellow fishing at the Coronado Islands. In fact, Bill Wilkerson said, Phil, let's do one more trip this year. Let's do a Coronado Island yellowtail trip, because it's biting, Bill said. And so I am very tempted to put that together with Bill. I'll have that for you in a little bit. Yesterday, the boat San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing, man, great day with 78 yellows. And they're mostly nice grade yellowtail at the islands right now. Biting a fly line bait, biting the surface line. Great fishing for the San Diego out of C4. 78 yellowtail. You can hardly beat a day like that. And of course, I'm not mentioning the barracuda and the calico bass and the rockfish, everything else that goes along with a day at the Coronado Islands. Pretty doggone good fishing going on there. San Clemente Island, there's some good yellow action going on there. Anywhere from, I want to say 15 to 40 yellows for the boats that are fishing at San Clemente Island. Fly line bait working best of all. That's really the best way to make it happen. And you want to fish fluorocarbon, www.optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. And I talked to guys on the Malihini yesterday who got that handwritten note from Greg Brown, as well as a free gift. The free gift is a mystery. No, I'm not even sure what it is right now. So anyway, island's looking good. Channel Island area, an occasional hit up there on the white sea bass, but mostly we're catching rockfish and some halibut occasionally, and some really excellent fishing on the bottom stuff. So that's good. Along the coast, I don't know what to make of this, but the city of Long Beach yesterday got into the beach and ended up with some good barracuda fishing. Had 51 barracuda, some decent sand bass fishing to go along with that. So that is really starting to look very, very good. And hopefully that's not just an anomaly. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come, a late bite manifesting itself. We'll get more of a picture of that here today, I think. So keep your eyes on that. City of Long Beach, nice day. Mitch on the barracuda, also some good sand bass fishing, and we're going to keep our eyes on that. The Victory also was goofing around. They were at Catalina Island, and I should mention they had 3 yellowtail, lost about 8 more fish. Nice grade yellowtail, and then hit a kelp for 20 Dorado. That's a nice day on board the Victory. These guys are really blessed right now. And once again, the coastal regions, you look at the new Seaforth Joe with that Dorado 2 miles off, they're picking at the bass, barracuda, and stuff like that. And you get up there into the Channel Islands, where the Island Spirit focused on bottom stuff and had a spectacular day with really great fishing, rockfish, lings, excellent bottom biters. They wanted to focus on that. Incidentally, Island Spirit will have room on Monday, 805-676-3474. Gotta love Ventura Sport Fishing. I mean, I love fishing up there. I love everything about the place. It is a spectacular place to fish indeed. In the surf, there's still some good Corvina action going on. In fact, one of the guys, Chris, on board the Malihini before we departed, was throwing a big old chrome jig. I think it was a crocodile, I'm not even sure. He was catching Corvina. They were eating the thing right at the docks there. Pretty darn spectacular. And of course, what's a trip to San Diego without seeing Scott Buchert, my buddy decking over there on the Ranger 85, doing such great work, supplying good info into me on a regular basis. It's always good to see Scott, and I got to spend time with Mimi Pham and Sean Hardigan, who is the captain of the Mission Belle. That also was a lot of fun. What a day we had yesterday on the Malihini. Can't thank you all enough for being there. And I hope those of you who are out there listening can join us on a Friedman Adventures charter here in the very near future. 3 scheduled. I think we're going to do a Coronado Island trip with Bill, but right now we have August 31st on the Amigo, a 2-day trip, and then 2 2-day trips on the Pride out of 22nd Street Landing, and you know how well they have been doing. Really great fishing for those guys, no question about it. All right, have a great morning, everybody. Lots of fun yesterday. Thanks for being there, and of course, I will see you again really, really soon.